and welcome to another week of Inkvent Calendar. If you missed the first week, maybe you should go back and have a look at that video. It's a nice one, it's a cute one, it goes through the whole process and stuff. But as a quick recap, I am doing a daily challenge. It sort of evolved. I didn't originally plan for it to be a challenge, but it's become a challenge, a daily challenge where I open the Inkvent Calendar, which is an advent calendar for little inks, and using that color make an illustration every single day in my brand new onion skin journal, which is A4 sized and was a very beautiful gift from my friends at the Onion Skin Journal. So the first week was a roller coaster. There were some triumphs, there were some blunders, there were some more blunders and some more triumphs. But it was really nice and I'm in the zone. It is now day 8. So this video is going to cover the second week of December. And I think we should just jump right into it, shall we? Let's go. So this is day 8 of the Inkvent calendar and this color is called Marley. I'm not really sure what Marley is or why it's called Marley. I don't know, maybe I'm just out of the loop maybe with Christmas sayings. But this color is really lovely. I opened it up and I was like, oh, a grey, okay. But actually these kind of colors are really handy, especially when it comes to painting paintings. And using as a mixing or like darkening colors. This has a bit of this like purpley, rosy purpliness to it, which when mixed with other colors can just like bring out a lot more like it could be a richer dark, if you know what I mean. Instead of making colors darker by using black, I like to make colors darker by mixing in something like this, like some sort of dusty, smoky, lilac-y color. Payne's grey, for instance, if you're using oil paint or watercolors and that sort of thing. I love a Payne's grey. So this kind of reminds me of that. Now this is like a standard ink, so there's no like weird stuff. There's no sparkles or glitters or any like funny effects and stuff. It's just really beautiful ink. It does do that really fun separation-y thing. I don't know what the correct term for that is either. But so when it starts drying, it like spreads out and there are like purple bits and blue bits and it does really cool stuff. You can see down the bottom there as well. Yeah, there's some light blue and purple. I love it. I love it so much when ink does that. It makes me really, really, really happy. I really like the randomness of that and like the unpredictability of it. You can't plan, you can't be perfect. And it just allows for so many fun little happy accidents. I was drawing some thistles in my sketchbook and I sort of sketched out this little scene in my sketchbook a few days ago and I thought I would redo it as my piece for today and I really like it. I hope you like it too. I went back and forth and laid it up a few times to make sure I get some good contrast with the darker lines. I think this is a really cute little graphic image. Feels nice and I really love drawing really graphic thistles in this way. I don't know, that's it. Marley, I really enjoy Marley. I can see myself using it a lot. It's day 9, I think. Yeah, I think so. Day 9. So this color is called Wishing Tree and at first, I opened it, I was like, oh, okay, it looks pretty, but another kind of grayish dark smoky color. Not as much, anyway, I was just a bit disappointed that it was another grayish one, but actually when I cracked it out and started using it, I really enjoyed it. Again, similar to the one from the day before from Marley, it's like a really good smoky kind of grayish one that I can use for layering, for mixing with in future paintings and stuff like that. So this color will be really handy for me. I'm going to use it a lot, I know it. I didn't know this until yesterday when someone pointed it out, but on the side of each bottle there's a little additional label which sort of will give you a bit of a hint of the effect that each ink has, whether it's scented or glittered or standard or whatever. And on the side of this ink it said chameleon. And I was like, what the heck does chameleon mean? So once I started using it, I discovered that it has this really fun shimmer to it, depending on what angle or what light you're looking at it. So from one angle, it might have like a bit of a greeny gold shimmer. And then from another angle, it has more of like a pinky or even a blue shimmer shine to it, which is really interesting. So yeah, very chameleon-like. Yeah, I really liked it. So the illustration I drew is a woman like from behind looking out into basically like a field of mushrooms, and she's sitting in the mushrooms and the mushrooms are growing up on her body. Wanted to do some little details, and I was in the mood to do something a bit more meditative and just sit down and work on tiny little details. So doing all these little negative space mushrooms and some positive space mushrooms and some little scribbles was just like such a delightful way to spend a little bit of time painting and stuff. I really enjoyed working on this piece, and I hope you like it. I think it's a bit cute, a bit graphic, and I can definitely see myself using this color a lot in the future. I think it will also look good put into a fountain pen as well, and then when you write you get to see these fun little pinks and blues and green shimmers. Day 10. This color was a very good one. I loved this. I feel like I love all of them, but I really like this one. I love a really rich navy blue ink, and there's just nothing better than it. And this one is definitely like a beautiful rich blue. Yes, it has a little bit of the smokiness to it still, but yeah, I love it. It is extremely sparkly. There are so many shines. You'll see later. I take a clip of it in the sunshine and it's just gleaming. I was very excited about that. You know, I did mention in the last video, I'm not a huge fan of glitters and sparkles and stuff like that in inks. It just kind of distracts me. But with a little thing like this, with a fun thing like this, I'm really enjoying playing with the sparkles and seeing what happens. I think when I use these inks in just like my day-to-day illustrations, I won't shake them to not bring up all the sparkles into the ink and just use the ink without the sparkles. But yeah, in this context, I really enjoy playing with the sparkles. They're heavy though, like the glitter and the sparkles is really heavy, so you have to constantly shake the bottle to bring them up. And when I'm using the dip pen, I dunk it all the way in and end up getting a really filthy dip pen in the process of it, but that's okay. I embrace the chaos. So this illustration is a bit of a redo of a piece that I did earlier this year for a zine that I made with my friend Lucy. It's about a shooting star who wants to go and live with whales, and here she is floating through the ocean and the water and that sort of stuff, and all her little shooting star friends come with her. So here she is just resting, languishing softly on the gentle waves of the ocean with all of her other shooting star friends. I should also say the dip pen I am using, I love this dip pen. I've had it for a few years and I forgot that I had it for so long until I saw someone else using it the other day, and I was like, I've got that, I'm going to use that. And I enjoyed it a lot more than using my glass dip pen actually, especially on this paper. I don't know why, it just flow. I have more control of light and heavy line work. So yeah, it's a brass dip pen from Kakimori. But yeah, look at that silver shine. Isn't that amazing? And it also does, the ink also does that fun spready thing where it has some pinky edges, which is very exciting. This colour is called Grotto. I don't know what a grotto is either in Australia. I feel like the term grotto means you're dirty and gross. But I don't know what a grotto is. I need to do my research. I'm, never really grew up as a huge Christmassy family, so maybe I'm just not in touch with all the Christmas terms. But I loved the vibrancy of this color. It's just like this blood orange, kind of slightly pinkish color, and it was like really intense. I feel like I couldn't even wash my paintbrush properly. I would always have remnants of pink for like a couple of days after this. But I had to switch out my paintbrush for the following paintings because the pink was just so intense. It's amazing. It's intense. And this color has a really cool effect to it. It's similar to one that you saw last week, where on the really dark bits, like when you put a lot of ink down, it does this really interesting chemical effect, maybe not chemical, mineral effect, I don't know, where it makes everything go gold, and it's really magical looking and pretty and extremely Christmassy. Like, the amount of gold that this ink turns is immense, and I love that it changes depending on the angle you look at it from. This illustration is also kind of a bit of a comfort zone drawing. I had sort of done illustrations with this idea in the past, just like a woman whose body is basically a mountain or a hill and this tiny little village living upon it. And yeah, I love that, and I know there's plenty of folklore tales all around the world in all sorts of different cultures that celebrate this kind of character as well. So I really enjoyed doing this piece, and I really enjoyed doing something really vibrant and bright and interesting, and I played with layers, and I just had a really nice time being slow and making shapes and just watching the gold effect come to fruition. It's not my favorite artwork, but the process of doing it was really lovely. And yeah, I just had a really nice chill time with this one, and it's definitely a color I'm going to use a lot of. I don't have a lot of reds and oranges in my collection, so yeah, this is going to be a really good fun one to use for future illustrations. So day 12, and we have another really vibrant blue. This one is even more saturated than the one a couple of days ago. It's like more navy, more bluey, which is lovely. But it had softness to it. Like in the bottle, it looked quite dark. And when it dries, it's quite a bit lighter. This one also has a lot of sparkles in it. And I struggled with the sparkles actually with this one. They were particularly heavy for some reason. So my dip pen struggled to pick them up, and I had to just shake it every 2 seconds to get any. So I ended up just kind of not dealing with the sparkles very much. I just let them be most of the time. But yeah, I love this color. It's got this almost PowerShell effect to it when it dries. It's got some pinks and some turquoises that happens. Yeah, I enjoyed painting with this color. I've been feeling a bit vulnerable lately. I've been really burnt out. Like, I haven't been this burnt out for a long time. Doing these Inkvent illustrations have been a really fun way for me to do something that's not directly work related, but also I just like make it work related by deciding to do an illustration every single day of the Inkvent calendar. Like I put this on myself, but no, it's been nice to do something which is a bit less pressure. Had a little accident, but yeah, so vulnerability. I've just been wanting to hide from the world, be in nature, be absorbed in a tree. And that's what I was thinking about when I started drawing this drawing. It's just like a body, behind, absorbed inside of a tree, and all you can see are the person's legs kind of wrapping around the trunk of the tree, I guess. But I put a little birdie friend in there who is singing a song, so it's a little bit of hope. I also included this hand of the person behind the tree reaching their hand out, and I thought it would look cute, but I don't know. It's not that I hate it, it's just that I don't think it goes with the vibe that I was trying to portray. It doesn't mean I think it's bad, it's just it doesn't go with the flow of the feeling that I wanted this piece to portray. So I kind of wish I didn't paint that hand for that reason, but that's okay. That's what sketchbooking and drawing is all about, making decisions and then being like, why is this decision not good, or why do I not like this, and why do I do like this, blah 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 blah. Anyway, that's the snow globe color. I really like that shimmery purpley effect on the ink. It's lovely.
Day 13.
So today's color is a nice, refreshing, vibrant, purpley pink kind of color, and I was so excited when I opened it because we've had a lot of quite dark colors over the last week so far. So I was really excited about having something really bright, and I use a lot of pinks and stuff in my illustrations. I use it for just like to add a touch of like, I don't know, spice, a touch of hotness, a pop in my illustrations, and pink mixes really well with other colors and that sort of thing. I love it. So I was very excited about this color. It's called Lullaby. I spelt lullaby wrong. I fixed it later. Also, I ended up filming 2 really long clips and then realizing I didn't actually film them. I thought I filmed them, but I didn't. So I'm really sorry. You missed the first few minutes of this drawing. But, anyway, it's funny because I drew the beginning of the mushroom and then I was like, oh no, I didn't press record. And then I set the camera up to paint the bug and then I didn't press record again. So, just wasn't my day. My brain was deciding to just not play with me today. Anyway, I illustrated this cute little bug character, which I have drawn multiple times over the years. He's my little button banjo bug, or banjolele bug, button banjolele bug. And so here he is, sort of seeking shelter from the rain under a mushroom with his new snail friend. All in pink. I got quite messy this day. I think I was just like not in the mood to draw, but when I started making this illustration, I really liked it, but I was still just like feeling a bit bleh and a bit clumsy. So I smudged so much of it and I just was like, okay, that's just what happens. I'm trying to let myself be okay with starting a challenge, expecting it to go one way, but then when it goes another way, to be okay with how that goes. Like at the beginning I was like, it's going to be really stream of conscious, it's going to be really journalistic, but I feel like this week has been a lot of comfort zone drawings, a lot of comfort zone characters, redrawing of drawings that I've already done in the past. So I like how this challenge is evolving and how I'm letting it evolve. I think it's a good lesson for myself to remember, and maybe you as well, that it's okay to change your ideas, it's okay to change your mind. Like you're the artist, this is your content, you can do whatever the heck you want with it. So this color is called Mint Twist, which another green one, but it's sort of more like a peppermint color more than mint, I guess. Very cool greeny blue color, which is really lovely, and it's got a good sparkle to it and a good like bleedy situation as well. I really enjoy this color. It's not one of my favorite colors in the world. In fact, this kind of green is a color that I steer away from a lot when it comes to my color palettes in my works and stuff. I like much more acidy kind of greens and like avocado kind of greens. So yeah, these really blue, turquoisey, tealy, mint, pepperminty colors are not really my go-to. So sometimes that can affect my my choices when making works and stuff. So this illustration I ended up redoing an older idea that I had as well. Like back to what I did yesterday, just comfort drawing, like reworking some old ideas. I love going through my old sketchbooks and rediscovering old ideas that I had and reworking them and taking them along with me. Like sometimes in one time in your life you throw down some ideas and throw down some sketches and drawings in your sketchbook and then do nothing with them for years, and then come back and it's like, now this little sketch is ready to become something. I actually smudged the face. I smudged the eyes with this one, and there was no fixing it, so I ended up coloring in her body in green. So she's a green lady, and it's like almost a way of erasing the line work, because this ink re-picks up itself, re-picks up its color, whatever you call it, reactivate, that's the word. So I was able to then, once that dried, go back over the face and fix up what I had smudged. Anyway, this is the little illustration. I thought it would be about a little character who collects shooting stars and whispers little secrets or sings little songs into them and then lets them go and they fly around the world. But yeah, that's week 2 of the Inkvent calendar in my onion skin journal. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorite illustration is this week, and I will see you next week for the 3rd week. Okay, tooroo!